Welcome back to more Cake. Yes, Mom Badass. Alright, I'm your girl Jelena, and today we are gonna go over the March planner that I did, and it's really cute and I love it. If you didn't see my February plan with me, go ahead and click the eye at the top or the link down below in the description. It will show you, it's a video of how I did my bullet journal. I keep going quotations bullet journal because it's not actually a bullet journal, but it has the same idea of bullet journaling. I've been bullet journaling for quite some time. I've actually been planning and working on planners since I was a kid. Anyone who really knows me and who's in my circle knows I don't go nowhere without carrying around like some sort of binder or some sort of notebook because I write everything down. I love planning things. I may be like a disorganized mess, but using a planner of some sort makes me feel much more better about myself. So yeah, I mean, you have to do what works for you. And this is how I arrange my cake life. And my planner has the majority of my cake life in it and then sprinkles of my personal life because my cake life takes over my entire life, like at the end of the day. And at the end of this, I will be announcing a giveaway to 2 lucky people. Well, I'm going to announce that I want to do a giveaway for 2 lucky unknown people who could possibly win. Yeah. Oh my god, let me tell you. So I'm starting a second channel, and this channel is called More Cake, where I give you everything about cake and more of it, meaning business-wise, life-wise, all have to do with cake. But my life isn't just cake. I mean, yes, it takes up a very large amount. I mean, I turn my whole dining room into my cake studio. But it takes a very large amount of my time, but I do a lot of projects that have nothing to do with cake. And sometimes I want to share that, but I'm like, I can't share it on this platform because this is about cake, you know? So I'm starting a second channel where it's more of like a DIY, other things that don't fall under the line of cake and cake life. And there will be more vlogging over there, my personal life and stuff like that. So if that's something you're interested in, and I mean, hell, if you just like a girl, just come and subscribe to my second channel. I linked it down below. Bear with me as I want to upload good content on that channel as well, and other videos and maybe some behind the scenes things that you don't see here on this channel or in my HBIC crew show. But let's get into my bullet journal, non-bullet journal journal. It's such a stupid laugh. What I tend to do is I write out on a little sticky note all of the pages that I want to add to this, and I make adjustments based off of like what happened last month and what I need to add to it or what I need to take away, what's working, what's not working, because you know, your life changes. What may have worked for you last year may not work for you this year. So I always make adjustments on what pages I want to add. So the first spread is the title page, which is normally it'll say like March, but I wanted to include the entire calendar in both pages because I saw somebody, and if I remember her name, I will put her Instagram page right here across the screen. She does these really pretty flowers, but I saw like she did these flowers and painted or colored in the backdrop black, and I was like, I love that. It made everything on the page pop out. So I wanted to do that. So I was like, I'm really into tropical weather. I'm Polynesian, so I'm really into tropical weather. That's 1. 2, I don't like following the normality of things, so I don't even know if I use that word right. Whatever. I don't like following things that seem the same across the board. And so I didn't want to do something like, oh, Lucky Charms, you know, because St. Patrick's Day is in March. But I did want to go green, which green and like emerald greens and forest greens, those are really my favorite colors. So I wanted to stick with that at least, so that way, fine, cool, I'll bring green in, but I'll bring green in my own way. So I sketched this whole thing out first with pencil, and then I went back with some of my Tombow, because I don't think I'm pronouncing them right, my Tombow markers, and colored in and everything. Now I'm actually using a marker paper that I glued with my double-sided adhesive dotted tape. I'll link the one that I'm using this month down below. I've actually fallen in love with this dotted tape, so if you want to use it, I linked it down below. I double-sided this paper on here, and it's a marker paper, and I thought by using these markers on this marker paper I would be fine, but no. What I realized is this paper actually sucks because and it's specifically marker paper, because as I was coloring in, and then if I wanted to go over on top of the marker that I just colored in, then the paper would kind of shed, and it was just not cool, because the Tombow markers are supposed to allow you to blend, and I thought by using marker paper that would work, and maybe I need to try it like a watercolor paper. So I'm gonna do that next month. I'll try watercolor paper. But so yeah, so I did this whole spread and I just had fun with it. I really did. I just had fun with it. I knew I wanted to pop out all of these like tropical greens out of it. And I know I wanted to like put in some vibrant blues and purples and pinks. So that's what I did. I pretty much used like the same 8 markers over and over again. And also this is my first time ever using my Tombow markers like this. Like I've never colored with them like this. Normally I just kind of like write words with them, but I never blended the colors. And this is my first time doing that. So the further we go into the planner for this month, the better I become with the markers. So it's also like a practice run. After everything got colored in, I did go back with one of my gold gelatin pens, specific one. I will link below, but I'm gonna tell you right now, it's cool, but it ain't that cool, because sometimes when you write with it, like it'll stop writing. And I'm like, bruh, what are you doing? So I have to look into getting another gold gelatin pen, but I'll link the one that I used down below. It did its job for what it needed to do, but I outlined everything, and I didn't want to like outline everything perfectly, so it was kind of like all over the place outlining the leaves and the flowers. And the next page was my daily affirmation page. Now, after I had colored the first page, I was so tired because it took me 2 days. I was so tired and so exhausted of coloring that I could not care anymore. So when I got to the daily affirmation page, I was kind of like, we'll just do a little bit of the page. And I just did the bottom half of it, but I left this for my daily affirmations, which you guys know if you watch my other planner videos. I like writing my daily affirmations. I like writing words or even sentences or descriptions of things that will boost me up and motivate me, because sometimes, you know, you don't have people, you may not have people in your life on a daily basis to tell you, hey, you're perfect just the way you are. Don't worry about things, don't stress things out. Nobody's life is perfect, it's cool. Just keep going, keep pushing, you're gonna reach your goals, you know, and sometimes you just gotta tell yourself that shit, and that's just the real. The page right next to it is my habit tracker. You guys know that I was not 100% with the habit tracker. I was like, this sounds so ridiculous. No, I love it. It makes me realize not realize, but it keeps me on track. Like it really does. For this month habit tracker, I'm doing pills, my pill, it's 1 pill a day, which is my heart medication, water, and what I try to do, I have like a 16-ounce water container that I try to fill up at least 3 times a day. If not, my minimum is 2 times, but my goal is 3 times. You get what I'm saying? So if I fill it up 2 times, cool, I can still give myself a little check, but 3 times I'm like, boom, I reached my actual goal. Also read with the kids. So every night, whether it's me or Kendrick, read with the kids, and right now we're letting Artemis kind of read, you know, and try to read some of the pages. He's not perfect at it, but he's familiarizing himself with certain words and certain sounds, so we're getting there. So I want to make sure I put that on my habit tracker. I'm not great at reading with the kids at night. Kendrick is amazing about it, just because I've been with the kids all day, and by the time I put them to bed, I'm kind of like, go to bed, goodbye, get out of my face, I love you. My son's like, read to me. No, I'm going to sleep. I can't even think right now, let alone read a book to you guys. So, but he's more perfect at it. So I put it on my habit tracker to make sure that I get better at it as well. The other thing is clean. My goal is to, not that I don't, but my goal is every day to clean at least one section of my house. My best friend does this. She has put a goal, I don't know if she has it for every day or like every week, but I thought that was pretty cool, like maybe once a day, not including like your average, like obviously washing dishes, which is an everyday process, but like that thorough cleaning where it's like, okay, I'm gonna thoroughly clean my living room today, and tomorrow I'm gonna thoroughly clean my bedroom, just so things can always stay clean and organized and I don't feel like my life is a complete mess. So shout out to my best friend for giving me this idea. Thanks, babe. And then the last thing is Kalina peeping. Now that sounds weird, but my daughter is currently being potty trained by us. It is the first time we've had to potty train a child. My firstborn was potty trained in his daycare. They potty trained him in 1 week and it was like, boom, he was perfect. My daughter, she's stubborn. She refuses to like just enjoy it. So it's just to make sure that I'm keeping track with her and her pee time. The way I designed this whole page is I made each and every habit a different leaf, and then I colored it in, and it's really cute. And then I went back and outlined it with the gold. And last month I put in the dates, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This month I didn't do that. I just went ahead and put in squares to represent each day. The next page is my goals page. Every month I want to write down my realistic goals for the month. Now when I say realistic, that means just for the month. I know long from now, I wanna make sure that I'm a billionaire and I'm, you know, rich and all this other thing. Great, that's long-term goals, but for this month, I need to have realistic goals. So I just decorated with that with a side panel of the leaves and florals and coloring, and then the black in the background. Same thing as I did on the other pages, but I just left some space to make sure that I wrote down my goals. And then the other page, I left completely blank so I can go back and write in a quote. And I wanted this to be like a quote page, but I ended up writing like a giant quote, which I'm assuming now it's just gonna be this one quote on this page. But I wrote, "You are stronger than the thoughts that try to steal your strength." And I feel like that can apply to everybody because we get in our own head about the things that we want to do. And I am a strong woman, okay? I am a strong woman. At the end of the day, I can say I'm a strong, independent woman, and not saying that I've done everything on my own, but I have the ability to do things on my own. But sometimes I get in my own head and I think, I can't accomplish this, how am I gonna do this? And it kind of just steals all of my strength away from me. So I wanted to remind myself, at the end of the day, girl, you fucking rock. And don't allow your own thought, let alone anybody else's thoughts, but just don't allow your own thoughts to get into your head and stop you from the goals you're trying to reach. The very next page is a different page that I've never had before because last month I really wanted to do my meal prep, which I have gotten into, but then sometimes it ends up stopping because, you know, life just comes at you and you just kind of like never do the things that you plan to do. But I wanted to put specific pages for meal prep, and I haven't started the meal prep yet for the first week, but I will be meal prepping this week coming up. I wanted to make sure that if I'm gonna organize things, I need to also organize my meals because I tend to, I'm not a snacker, but you know, I see a bag of chips and I'm like, let me eat this bag of chips. And I do so much more better when I meal prep, and then I'm kind of like, no, I just need to wait like an hour and then I can eat the food that I already made myself. You know what I mean? And that makes me feel good. I don't do it so much for like, oh, I want to physically be fit. Yes, I do. But that's not why I do it. I do it because it makes me feel good and it also makes me feel a little more organized. So I made a whole 2 spread of meal prep. I kept it really simple. I left the space for all my breakfasts that I want to make myself, my lunches and my dinners. My breakfasts are normally simple. I just like to do like a quick oatmeal, a banana, or a smoothie and call it a day. But I think I'm gonna look up different recipes for different breakfasts I can make for the kids. I think that'll be a good thing. My lunches and dinners, my lunch usually is like a big salad. My dinners are usually like some vegetables and maybe some sort of meat. But what I'm trying to do is, I'm not trying to go vegan or vegetarian, but I just want to maybe incorporate just more fish in my life and less meat in my life. The next page, now the money page, is the page I always like try to glamour it up because when you look at it, it's depressing because it's talking about bills and money and incoming money and taking away money. But because I was all drained from coloring the cover page of March, I was like, I'm gonna keep this page really simple. And usually I just have one page and then I end up having to like tape extra pages onto this one page because I have more to write. So I thought, you know what, for March, I'm actually gonna do a 2-page spread, and one page is just for the money that's coming in and out for my business. And then the second page is the bills that I have to pay and that money coming out. So I kept those 2 pages separately. And I put like a nice little quote on top, get rich or die trying. Now the page that I like to do always before I get to like my separate weeks is my YouTube and my HBIC Facebook group page. So that way I can list out the YouTube videos that I need to make and for just this month, and then also the HBIC projects or videos that I need to put out there for my HBIC Facebook group. What's your HBIC Facebook group, Jelena? Well, I'm glad you asked. Let me tell you. It is a Facebook group that I made for head bakers in charge, and sometimes the B doesn't stand for baker. It is a Facebook group for men and women of all kind who are in our field of baking and cake decorating, and they want to run a successful business and want to get to that level, or just need help and guidance with it, whether or not the business side of your business or the artistic side of your business. So I help you out with that. This month we are focusing on writing our business plans, also pricing, but pricing is always going to be something we focus on throughout forever. But this month's topic is really business plans. So I have all of my HBIC girls right now, because there's only girls in there, HBIC girls writing out their business plans, and they send it to me. I look it over and we have a one-on-one video conference and talk about their business plan, so that way they can kind of readjust it to help them out run their business. So if that sounds something like you're interested in, on needing help running your business, either the business side of it or again the artistic side of it, please, we're here to support you. There's no judgment whether or not you've been in this for 2 days or 2 years or 20 years. Come join the group. It is a monthly subscription, so you can find all that information out at the link down below. And last month I readjusted this. Last month I was like, damn, why don't I have a page to like sketch out my little cake ideas that I have, because I'm constantly just grabbing pieces of paper. Like, I do sketch out the finalized cake in Procreate, but I tend to just grab papers or take any little sticky note and just start writing out and sketching out cakes sometimes. So I thought, why not use a separate page for that? and have it designated just for sketching out my cakes, especially for the ones that I'll be making for this month. So. And now for the weekly spread. So my weekly spread is going to be similar just like it was last month. I really liked using the 2-page spread for the weekly spread and also dividing up each days on it. I love that idea and it really worked for me, so I'm going to keep that same spread. The only difference is that instead of doing boxes to put Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I put the big old leaves and I'm actually putting in the date, the number date, so like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and so forth and so on. And then just right next to it I'm going to write the words Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then what I also added was at the top of each date, I'm leaving 3 lines blank for each day. And then I'm writing 1, 2, and 3. Because I want to start getting in the habit of writing down the top 3 things that I have to get done before I start the rest of my daily to-dos. So that way I don't leave like the most important thing for the last. Because I tend to do that. Everything that I'm always like, oh God, I have this giant project. Okay, well let me get all of this stuff done and then get to the giant project. But then when I do that, by the time it's time for me to get to the giant project, I'm like, oh, but I'm tired. And I just want to sit down for a little bit, and then I sit down and I just want to nap. So I'm going to try to get in the habit of doing that. So I left those spaces there. I also added a rose and thorn little section. I had this for last month. Let me show you. So last month, which I don't think I told you guys that it was part of the spread. I can't remember if you go back and look in February. But last month I wanted to have a little section here. I don't know if, I'm sure that's blurry, but a little section here, and I called it week highlight. And I wanted to like go back, be able to go back and journal in like what was the highlight of the week, like what happened during this week. So that way later on in life, if me or my children or my grandchildren ever go back and read these, they go, oh wow, look at this. Like she wrote a little journal here and told us like what was the most highlight of her week. But then I thought I would really like it to be my rose and my thorn. And if you guys don't know what that is, basically, you know, like, so it's your thorn is the bad thing that happened to you and the rose is the good thing that happened. So I did a rose and a thorn for the week, every week last month. And I actually went back and took the time and filled out each rose and thorn. And I thought it was great because it made me smile at the end of the day when I wrote it. You know, like my, oh, here, I'll read one to you. So my rose and thorn, I think this was the last week of February. Yes, it was. This week I created a cake for my daughter and wrote a poem. Thank you, Kalina, for being such an amazing daughter. So yeah, I just wrote something simple like that. And if you guys didn't see that cake that I created for her, die at the top or the link down below. So yeah, and then also I added on there a shopping list section right next to the rose and thorn. I wanted to write down all the things that I wanted to buy for that week, whether it's food or personal items. So yeah, that's it. That was it. That's how I'm keeping my life organized for March. Let me tell you about the giveaway, and then I'm going to show you guys the spread and you guys can see the whole thing. So what I'm doing, because I went to the store and I found 2 of these, which is my planner. The only difference is you guys have like the gold part, not you guys, but it has the gold part right here, where mine doesn't have the lining of gold. It just has an embossing for it, but it's literally the same thing. It's made by the same people, it has the same amount of pages, the same type of paper and everything. So I'm going to be giving away 2 of these little notebook that I use for my journal planning, and it has lined paper on inside. So whether you want to use it for your bullet journaling like I do, or if you just want to use it for just a journal, I'm giving away 2 of these. And the way that you can win these is all you gotta do, make sure you're following me on Instagram, go like this image right here, and make sure you tag your cake bestie on it, and I will pick a winner. I will pick a winner by next week, so that way you can have this for next month bullet journaling. So yeah, that's it. And if you're confused about how to enter, I wrote it all in the description down below. I'll talk to you guys later. I appreciate you. And here is the spread of March. Bye.